February PlayStation Plus games leaked, is Uncharted 5 teased in the new PS5 ad campaign, Horizon multiplayer footage leaks, The Last of Us Season 2 announced, all that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get to them. February PlayStation Plus games leaked. Ahead of the PlayStation Plus monthly games announcement expected for this week, user Bill has leaked all the games again. Starting February 7, you can download the skating adventure to find your Nirvana in Oli Oli World, the reimagined and expanded remake to Mafia, the asymmetric survival horror of Evil Dead the game, and the Beyond Light expansion for Destiny 2 just before Lightfall comes out. Bill Kun notes that Mafia Definitive Edition is a bonus game that could be switched up in some regions. This is a solid lineup for February. Oli Oli World was one of the best indie games last year that got nominated a few times for Game Awards events. Mafia Definitive Edition is a great game and easy platinum. Beyond Light may not be as good as Witch Queen, but eases the path for anyone who wants to go back into Destiny because it's an expensive one. And Evil Dead the game is a solid 4 vs 1 multiplayer game. We should have confirmation by Wednesday this week. In the meantime, Premium and Deluxe users got new trials in the form of Midnight Suns and F1 Manager 2022 with 2 and 3 hours of gameplay respectively. What are your thoughts on this leaked monthly lineup? Voice your opinion in the comments. Is Uncharted 5 teased in the new PS5 ad campaign? Sony has revealed a new marketing campaign for PS5 to promote the console's availability in most markets. The campaign is called Live from PS5 and takes the form of live news with several reports about Spider-Man, Horizon, and Final Fantasy XVI, for example. The new ad was first spotted by Australian viewers in what was initially believed to be part of Spider-Man 2 marketing, but instead is used to promote the console through already available or upcoming games. The campaign also brings Sony's franchises into the real world, with Kratos' Leviathan Axe appearing in London. In the PlayStation blog, Sony thanked fans for their patience as they navigated through unprecedented demand for the console amid global challenges. And say that if you want to get a PS5 now, you should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally. That's not all, cause Eagle Eye viewers have spotted a reference in the 43-second mark of a game that stands out with a young woman exploring a tomb and dusting off an artifact. You may think it's Tomb Raider, but it doesn't look like it, which has led people to think it could be a new Uncharted. A new Uncharted has been rumored to be long in development, and while Naughty Dog said they have moved away from the series, the idea is a new studio like Visual Arts will take the mantle. Are you still looking for a PS5? Do you think PlayStation just teased Uncharted 5? Sound off in the comments. Horizon multiplayer footage leaks. In our previous video we talked about the team up between Guerrilla and Studio Gobo and all the Horizon projects in development, and an early version of one of those has leaked. I won't post the video here because it will likely get taken down, but I can describe what I saw. It was 4 different characters running around in the open world exploring and fighting machines, or rather getting hit by watchers. Every character had a distinct look and class, and they were not shown fighting together. Their design resembled more of a Fortnite or Genshin Impact cartoon style of look than the realistic from Horizon. Guerrilla noted late last year that their co-op game would have a unique stylized look, so it could be they are aiming towards a more animated design, but not necessarily the ones shown in that build. The video seemed like a proof of concept, and it's also said this is a very old alpha build from 2020, so this could probably not be the final look of the game. We don't know when the studio may unveil this project, but there are good chances we could get anything soon, given it's probably one of Sony's 10 games as a service to be launched before 2026. Do you think they should change Horizon's design for a multiplayer project, or do you prefer its more realistic look? Let us know in the comments. The Last of Us Season 2 announced. I didn't get to cover this in Friday's video because they announced it after publishing, but it was covered in our short weekly recap. The Last of Us Season 2 was announced after the popularity of the series exploded after the first 2 episodes and is now boosting game sales. Website Television Stats has shared that the show is the #1 most torrented show, the #1 most visited Wikipedia page, the #1 fastest growing on Reddit and Twitter, the #1 on IMDb popularity, and number 16 most searched term on Google. Despite this being just a confirmation, it was likely in the cards before the premiere, with both Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin teasing what they would do for a Season 2 to cover the whole game, since Mazin said he doesn't like filler. I think it's a tall order to deliver all the plot points for Part 2 in a 9-episode season, but maybe they surprise us again with a faithful adaptation that changes and expands in the same way. This one is probably going to get very mixed reactions. What are your thoughts about The Last of Us Season 2? Who do you think should play Abby? Share with us in the comments. In related The Last of Us news, but now about the game, we have the sad passing of actress Annie Wershing, who played Tess in the game, and other famous roles in 24, Bosch and Timeless. She died at age 45 after battling cancer since 2020. Naughty Dog has commented on the sad news. We at Naughty Dog are deeply saddened to hear of Annie Wershing's passing. We keep her in our hearts and memories, and we hope that her family may find peace during this time. If you would like to support her family, please consider donating. A GoFundMe page has been set up to support her family, which you can find in the link below. We send our deep thoughts to her family and friends as well. Sony met with European regulator and Microsoft accusations. European regulator will be giving their final decision on the Microsoft Activision merger in April, but Sony is continuing its attempt at blocking the deal. Last week, SIE CEO Jim Ryan had a meeting with European antitrust chief Margrethe Vestager, but nothing is known about its outcome. According to Reuters, their source declined to indicate details on this discussion, but it might be related to previous rumors that the regulator may be sending Microsoft a charge sheet with their objections soon. Meanwhile, Microsoft Chief Communications Officer has accused Sony of misleading the regulator in regard to Xbox's commitment to keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. Frank Shaw jumped on Twitter saying, "I hear Sony is briefing people in Brussels claiming Microsoft is unwilling to offer them parity for Call of Duty if we acquire Activision. Nothing could be further from the truth. We have been clear we have offered Sony a 10-year deal to give them parity on timing, content, features, quality, playability, and any other aspect of the game. We have also said we're happy to make this enforceable through a contract, regulatory agreements, or other means. Sony is the console market leader, and it would defy business logic for us to exclude PlayStation gamers from the Call of Duty ecosystem. Microsoft offered 10-year deals to Steam and Nintendo as well, which they accepted, but Sony is reluctant to, in hopes the deal never gets done. I think it's a mistake by Sony, since most experts think the deal will go through, but maybe they also want to force Microsoft into longer deals. We'll see what happens. What do you think about these developments? Voice your opinion in the comments. Now let's go for a round of quickfire game news. Last week it was reported that PlayStation Plus PSP Classic Super Stardust Portable was getting updated with trophies, and now Sony is following it with no heroes allowed. Hopefully more classics get patched soon. TT Games' former assistant game director has pointed out to the studio possibly working on a fourth LEGO Batman game after cancelling a LEGO Disney project due to crunch culture issues and the success of Dreamlike Valley. They may have cancelled a total of 4 projects now. Insider Gaming is reporting Ubisoft games in development, including Far Cry 7 and a multiplayer Far Cry title that were supposed to be one game but have been separated into 2 projects. Both games could be set up in the Alaskan wilderness, with the multiplayer being an extraction-based shooter. Another Insider Gaming report also leaked Project Orlando to be called The Crew Motorfest, a title that has evolved from DLC for The Crew 2. The game would be using a new engine and set on the Hawaii island of Oahu. Dead Space launched to great reviews on Friday, but after Day 1 patch 1.02, PS5 users have been facing a virtual super resolution bug where the image quality takes a hit to almost cel shading levels. An EA spokesperson has said the team is working on an update to be released soon. Another game receiving a patch soon, likely this week, is The Witcher 3 for PS5, after receiving a physical release last week. It will hopefully fix reported popping issues and frame rate when playing in quality mode. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Share them in the comments below, let me know your feedback by liking or disliking this video, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!